Hey everybody, it's the final game in the Sweet 16 of the Cards and Dice bracket, and it's going to match the 1988 Los Angeles Dodgers, who pulled a big upset beating the heavily favored 1961 New York Yankees. And they'll be opposing the 1969 New York Mets, who squeaked out a tough one over the 1984 Detroit Tigers. Our starting pitchers in today's game will be lefty Jerry Koosman for the New York Mets and right-hander Tim Belcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers. So sit back and relax and enjoy the final game of Sweet 16 Cards and Dice bracket. We still have the PC bracket to go, but this is the last one for Cards and Dice. And we'll be right back to meet the starting lineup for the Los Angeles Dodgers. Okay, let's look at the starting lineup for the Dodgers. Leading off will be second baseman Steve Sax. Batting second will be left fielder Mickey Hatcher. Batting third, the designated hitter Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup is right fielder Mike Marshall. Batting fifth is first baseman Tracy Woodson. Batting sixth is John Shelby, the center fielder. Hitting seventh and playing third base is Jeff Hamilton. Batting eighth and catching is Rick Dempsey. And batting ninth, the shortstop Alfredo Griffin. And Tim Belcher, the right-hander, is on the mound. So the Dodgers will be facing lefty Jerry Koosman. In the 69 season, Koosman was 17-9 with a 2.28 ERA. So the Dodgers, who are not known for their offense, have their work cut out for them against a stingy pitcher in Jerry Koosman. However, they did managed to beat Whitey Ford and the 61 Yankees in their first endeavor, so maybe against another left-hander will be luck again for him. Right now, Steve Sax is up against Jerry Koosman. It's a 5-5, so we're under Koosman against a righty, and it's an early chance for a home run. However, and take that back, Steve Sax does have normal power against a lefty. So a 1-5 would be a home run. Anything else is a fly ball to left. So Sax gets into one, flies it deep to left. Cleon Jones going back, and a 6-20 Cleon will make the catch. He does not. It's a 4. So Steve Sax has led off the ball game with a home run. How do you like that? Steve Sax starts out the ball game with a home run, and just like that, the Dodgers have shocked the Mets. Before they even get settled in, it's 1-0. And Koosman is shaking his head on that one. He doesn't believe it. But it happened on a 5-5 roll. It happened on a split chance. All right, here's Mickey Hatcher, left fielder. It's a 3-7 off of Koosman, the lefty. And that's a ground ball to short. So one away as the Dodgers are retired, or the Hatcher is retired 6-3. One away for Kirk Gibson, designated hitter in this game. It's a 4-6 against Koosman, lefty on lefty. 4-6 is a strikeout. So Jerry Koosman comes back to strike out Gibson for the second out. Mets trying to win this game so they could take on the 69 Orioles in the Elite Eight for a rematch of the 69 series. Here's Mike Marshall. It's a 3-10 for Marshall against the lefty. 3-10's a fly ball to center field. So AG handles that one easily, and the inning is over. But Steve Sax jumpstarts the Dodgers with his leadoff home run. After half an inning, it's the Dodgers 1 and the Mets coming to bat. So starting pitcher for the Dodgers is Tim Belcher, right-hander. He was 12-6 on the 1988 season with a 2.91 ERA. And now we'll meet the Mets and their starting lineup. Leading off will be center fielder Tommy Agee. Batting second at third base is Wayne Garrett. Hitting third is the left fielder Cleon Jones. Batting cleanup in right field is Art Shamsky. Batting fifth is the designated hitter Don Clendenin. Batting sixth is second baseman Ken Boswell. Hitting seventh is first baseman Ed Kranepool. Batting eighth and catching is Jerry Grody. And batting ninth, the shortstop Bud Harrelson. So Tommy Agee in his season, he hit 26 home runs in 1969, so he's certainly capable of leading off the game with a home run as well. So let's see if he can do that against Tim Belcher. Here's the pitch. It's a 3-8 for Agee. But a 3-8 against a right-hander is a fly ball to center field. So he flies to Shelby in center. And that's one away very quickly. And we go to the second hitter in the order, Wayne Garrett, the third baseman. Wayne Garrett. And the roll is a 5-9. So for Belcher against a lefty, 5-9's a walk. So Wayne Garrett draws a 1-out walk. And that will bring up Cleon Jones, the left fielder. Cleon Jones against Tim Belcher. It is a 4-4. So Belcher against a righty, 4-4 is a fly ball to right field. So he flies to Mike Marshall in right field for out number 2. And that will bring up Art Shamsky. The right fielder, Art Shamsky. It's a 2-6. 2-6 for Shamsky against a right-handed pitcher is a split chance, 1-4 for a triple, 5-20 for a single. So a 1-4 will tie the ball game. Anything else will put runners at the corners. So Shamsky's looking for a 1-4. He didn't get it. He got a 16, but it still is a single star, which means Garrett will go over to third base. So right now they have runners at the corners and 2 outs for designated hitter Don Clendenin. And he certainly has the power stroke. Here is the pitch. It's a 1-6. 1-6 against a right-hander. Potential home run. 1-16 for a home run. 17-20 is a double. So the Mets will take the lead here. But a 1-16 will be a 3-run homer. And it is a 7, so Don Clendenin answers Steve Sack's solo home run with a 3-run homer of his own. And just like that, the Mets grab a 3-1 lead here in the first inning. And now the Mets feel like they have things back the way they should be. And here is Ken Boswell. It's a 2-9. 2-9 against a righty is a ground ball to first. So the Mets with Don Clendenin stroking a 3-run home run. And after 1 inning of play, it's the Mets 3 and the Dodgers 1. Okay, Tracy Woodson, the first baseman, leads off against Jerry Koosman. It is a 5-6. Koosman against a righty, 5-6 is a base hit. Not much of a chance for a triple. We have to roll a 1 on a D20 to get a triple. Otherwise, it's just a single. And that's what it is. It's a single. So Tracy Woodson leads off with a single to start off the second inning. And what was thought to be a pitching duel was turning into a slugfest here early on. Here's John Shelby. John T-Bone Shelby. It's a 2-8. 2-8 against a lefty. He's a switch hitter. So 2-8 against a lefty is a single. Single to center field. There's no stars there, but Woodson, not the fleetest of foot, a 1-13, and Tommy Agee in center is a -3, so they're not going to risk it. It's a base hit for Shelby, and now the first 2 are on. Runners at first and second, nobody out for third baseman Jeff Hamilton. Here's the pitch to Hamilton. It's a 6-5 off of Koosman. 6-5 is a ground ball to shortstop X. So the shortstop in this case is Harrelson, and he is a 2. So we're going to roll the D20. Check his error rating or range rating. It's a 4. So if we look at the shortstop, advanced fielding, number 2, a 4, is a ground ball C. So a ground ball C is a little dribbler that Harrelson handles himself, throws to first for the out, but the runners do move up. And now runners are at second and third with 1 out for the catcher, Rick Dempsey. So a base hit could score 2 and tie the game. 5-9 for Koosman against the righty. It's a strikeout. So he struck out Rick Dempsey. A big strikeout there. And now there's 2 outs. And it's up to Alfredo Griffin Alfredo Griffin. Switch hitter. It's a 2-11. He will switch hit against a lefty. 2-11's a pop out to the second baseman, Boswell, to end the inning. So the Dodgers' threat goes for naught. And that's going to do it for the Dodgers in the top of the second. We go to the bottom of the second. Score is Mets 3 and Dodgers 1. And leading off the second for the Dodgers is Ed Cranepool, first baseman. It's a 2-9, and a 2-9 against a righty is a ground ball to first. So a ground ball to Tracy Woodson at first. He'll take it to the bag unassisted. One away, and catcher Jerry Grody, number 8 hitter, leads off, or faces off against Belcher. It's a 2-4. 2-4 is a ground ball to third baseman Jeff Hamilton. So a 5-3 ground out for out number 2. And quickly 2 outs for Bud Harrelson, the number 9 hitter. Switch hitter. It's a 2-10. So Bud Harrelson, 2-10 against a right-handed pitcher. Split chance. 1-9 is a double. 10-20 is a single. So 50-50 shot, basically, for Harrelson to get a double. It's a 11, so he missed it. It's a single. So Bud Harrelson with a 2-out single. And he's only got an E steal rating, so he's not going anywhere. And we're back to Tommy Agee in the top of the order. Agee fly to center his first time up. This is a 2-8. A 2-8 against a right-hander. And a 2-8 against a right-hander is a single to left field. So a single to left by Agee. And that will move Harrelson up to second base. Still 2 outs. 2 on now for Wayne Garrett. And it was the 2 outs in the last inning when Clendenin hit the 3-run homer. Garrett has a chance for a 3-run homer, but he doesn't have that kind of power. It's a 3-8. So let's see what he can do with a 3-8. A 3-8 is a line out to the second baseman Sachs. So Garrett lines to Sachs to end the inning. And that's going to do it for the Mets. After 2 complete, it is the Mets 3 and the Dodgers 1. Top of the order, Steve Sachs, to lead off again. He led off with that homer against Kuzma to start the game. So let's see if Kuzma figures him out this time. It's a 6-6, so we're off Kuzma's card. And a 6-6, well, look at that. All those outs in the 6-6 column, but Sachs found a base hit. 1-11 is a double. Anything else is a single. It's a 13, so it's a single. So a leadoff single for Steve Sachs. And Sachs is a double-A stealer, so he will most likely be trying to run here. It's a double-A stealer. So as a double-A stealer, he starts out with a 17. And then we reduce. We reduce 2 for him being held, so that's a 15. Brings it from 17 to 15. Grody drops him 3 more down to a 12. So he's got a 1-12 chance of being safe, and they're going to take it. Tommy Lasorda says go. So Sachs needs a 1-12 to be safe. And he didn't get it. It's an 18. He got thrown out. So Jerry Grody throws out Steve Sachs. 1 away. And that's a danger when you run down 3-1. You try to get something going, but you can run yourself out of an inning. Here's Mickey Hatcher. It's a 4-8. And a 4-8 against Kuzman is a strikeout. Strikeout. So Kuzman comes back to strike out Mickey Hatcher for out number 2. And that'll bring up Kirk Gibson. With 2 outs and the bases empty, he struck out his first time up. Gibson, a 3-7 against a right-hander, is a walk. So Kirk Gibson with a 2-out walk. Now he is an A base stealer, but that's going to reduce his odds down to a 10. So they're not going to try it. If they threw Sachs out, they're not going to take a chance with Gibson. They're going to see if Mike Marshall maybe can do something here. He's up with 2 outs and Gibson at first. It's a 4-7. 4-7 against the lefty Kuzman. 4-7. 4-7 is a walk. 4-7 is a walk against right-handed pitching. So that is a walk. And back-to-back walks now. And now there's 2 on and 2 outs for Tracy Woodson. So Tracy Woodson, the batter. It is a 1-6. A 1-6. 1-6. 1-6 against a lefty for Tracy Woodson. 1-6 is a ground ball to third. The inning is over. Okay, I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think I may have read Kirk Gibson's at-bat off of a right-handed pitcher versus a left-handed pitcher. The role that got him to be a walk was a 3-7. 3-7 against a righty was a walk. He really was facing a lefty in Kuzman, but fortunately the 3-7 on the left-hand side was also a walk, so it did not affect, fortunately, did not affect the outcome, and just wanted to tighten that up and let everybody realize I did catch that 2 batters later, and fortunately it did not affect anything. I'll try to be more careful. The left-handed pitchers sometimes throw me off when I'm so used to checking the right-handed pitchers. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 3-1 in favor of the Mets, and Cleon Jones will be facing Tim Belcher, a righty, so everything will be in the off the batter's cards will be off the red. So here's Cleon Jones, flew to right his first time up. It's a 6-4. 6-4 is a ground ball to third base with an X. So Jeff Hamilton, he is a 2-rated third baseman. So we'll invoke the D20. That's a 14, which I believe is going to be an out. Third baseman, number 2, 14. I take that back. 6-14 falls in the error check. So Hamilton is an E27. So good chance for an error here. 9-12 is an out. Anything else is an error. So Hamilton needs a 9-12 to field the play. And he did not get it. He got a 4. So a 4 based on an E27, that's a 1 base error, an E1. So Hamilton boots it, and Cleon Jones reaches on the E5. So not a good way for the Dodgers to start. Tommy Lasorda not very happy right now, shaking his head. He said, why can't you feel these things? I teach the baseball bunch this stuff, and you can't do it as major leaguers. Okay, here's Art Shamsky. It's a 2-5 against righties. 2-5 is a potential home run. 1-5 for a homer. 6-20 is a fly out to left fielder Mickey Hatcher. So Shamsky goes the opposite way, drives one to deep left field. Going back on it is Hatcher, and it's a 2, which is a home run. So Art Shamsky with a roll of 2 on the D20. Drives one over the wall in left field for another home run. This is a 2-run shot. And Jones, who just reached on the error, will score an unearned run. Second home run of the game for the Mets. And we've got a 5-1 ball game. And bullpen activity for the Dodgers is heating up as Belcher is running into all kinds of issues. And let's see who they're going to bring in. Looks like they're going to warm up Brian Holton. Brian Holton is warming up in the Dodger bullpen. So Brian Holton will be coming on if Belcher gets into any more issues. Here's Clendenon. He hit the 3-run homer his first time up. It's a 4-7 against Belcher, and that's a walk. So Belcher a little scared of him there. Gives him the free pass. And there's still nobody out here in the third in a 5-1 game. So here is Ken Boswell. Boswell a 5-10 against a lefty. 5-10 is a catcher X. Rick Dempsey's a catcher rated number 3. So we'll roll the D20. See what we get here. We got a 2. We got a 2, and he is a catcher rated number 3. So a 3-rated catcher and a 2 is a pass ball pop out. So it's a pass ball on Rick Dempsey. And then Boswell will pop out to Dempsey. But the pass ball moves Clendenon into scoring position with 1 out. And that brings up Ed Kranepool. He grounded to first base his first time up. Here is the pitch to Kranepool. It's a 2-9. And a 2-9 is a ground ball first base A. So ground ball A is going to move the runner to third because it was hit to the right side. So again, another ground out to first for the second out. And going to third is Clendenin. And that'll bring up Jerry Grody. I know technically it says you don't advance, but obviously runner on second, ground ball to first, you're going to advance. So here's Jerry Grody. It's a 3-3 against the righty. 3-3 is a walk. So Jerry Grody draws a walk. And Tim Belcher may not last too much longer in this game. Runners at first and third. He's got one last guy to get, and that's Bud Harrelson. If Harrelson reaches, it'll be all over for Belcher. It's his last chance. Here's Bud Harrelson. It's a 4-6, and Bud Harrelson is a lefty batter in this at-bat on a 4-6. And that is a strikeout. A strikeout. So he struck him out to get out of this, but 2 more runs come in, and after 3 complete, the Mets have a comfortable 5-1 lead on the Dodgers. And Jerry Koosman, the beneficiary of this run support, back on the hill, and he'll be facing John Shelby, Jeff Hamilton, and Rick Dempsey, the bottom of the order. Here is Shelby. It's a 5-5. Shelby is a switch hitter batting right, so we go to 5-5 versus a righty. There's a chance for a home run again, and Shelby does have normal power against lefties, so it's a 1-5 for a home run. Anything else is a fly ball to left. So Shelby drives one back. Going back is Cleon Jones, and it's a 7, so Cleon makes the play. Cleon Jones, fly ball to left, he fields it, 1 away, and that'll bring up Jeff Hamilton, who made that error last inning that preceded the home run. It's a 3-8 against a lefty. 3-8 is a split chance, 1-3 for a single. Anything else is a line out to Bud Harrelson. So he needs a 1-3. Didn't get it, he got a 19. So Harrelson snagged that one for out number 2. And that'll bring up the catcher, Rick Dempsey. Dempsey, a 110 against lefties. 110 is a strikeout. He just missed a home run. He got a strikeout. So Rick Dempsey down on strikes. And the inning is over. Go to the bottom of the 4th. Score still Mets 5, Dodgers 1. And do they leave Belcher in? They're going to stick with Belcher a little bit longer. I'll give him a shot here against AG, see what he can do. It's a 1-3. A 1-3 for AG is a single off a right-hander, so it's a base hit for Tommy Agee. A base hit for Agee. And I think that's going to probably do it at this point. I just don't see how they can go on any longer with Belcher like this. He's really, really struggling. So, with that in mind, they will bring in Brian Holton, who had been warming up in the bullpen. So Brian Holton is in. Brian Holton is in, and we'll be right back to look at the miserable totals on Tim Belcher. Okay, so Brian Holton is in now, and for Belcher, 3+ innings, 6 hits, at least 5 runs, although AG on first base is his responsibility, so he could end up giving up 6 runs. 3 walks and only 1 strikeout. We do know that one of the runs that he gave up was unearned, but still, he just didn't have it. All right, here's Brian Holton facing Wayne Garrett. That's a 6-7 off of Holton against a lefty. 6-7 is a ground ball to short with an X. That's Alfredo Griffin, who happens to be a 1-rated fielder, so we could see a double play here. It's a 13. That may be in the error range, though. We'll see. Shortstop, 13. Nope, 13 is number 1's a ground ball A. So it is a double play. 6-4-3. So right away, Brian Holton induces a 6-4-3 double play, and now we can close the book on Belcher. He gave up 5 runs, 4 earned in his 3+ innings. So 2 outs. nobody on, and Cleon Jones, the batter. Cleon. It is a 2-7. 2-7 against a right-hander for Cleon is a ground ball to short. So the inning is over. Second ground ball to short in a row. And we go to the fifth with the score. Mets 5, Dodgers 1. And Alfredo Griffin, who made those 2 defensive plays, will be leading off the top of the fifth against Jerry Koosman. Switch hitter against the lefty Koosman. He'll be batting from the right-hand side. It is 2-7. So Griffin against Koosman, 2-7's a pop out to the second baseman. Pop out to Ken Boswell for the first out of the fifth. That brings up Steve Sachs. He's homered and singled. Did get caught stealing. It's a 1-9 against a lefty. 1-9 is a potential double. 1-15 is a double. 16-20 is a single. So we'll see what happens here. It is a 1-15 for a double. It's a 19, so it's just a single. But now down 5-1, they're not going to risk it. Even though he is a double-A stealer, they're just not going to risk it. So Mickey Hatcher steps in. It's a 1-9 for Mickey Hatcher against the lefty. 1-9 is a single star. So a base hit for Mickey Hatcher, and that will move Sachs to third base. Runners are at the corners with 1 out. And Kirk Gibson. So if Kirk Gibson can get into one here, we got a 1-run ball game. So hope is not lost yet on the Dodgers. 1-11. 1-11 against the lefty is a fly ball. It's a ground ball, second base A. It's a double play. So just like that, the rally is gone on a 4-6-3 double play. I thought at first it might be a sac fly, but it's the 1-11 is a ground ball, second base A. It's a 4-6-3 double play, and the Dodger hopes here in the fifth are erased. Nothing doing. We go to the bottom of the fifth, still 5-1, and Art Shamsky steps up against Holton. And for Shamsky, it's a 6-5 for Holton against a lefty. That's a fly ball to center field. So fly ball to center field, and Shamsky is retired. That brings up Don Clendenin. He's homered already. It's a 6-7. 6-7 for Holton against a righty is a strikeout. So Brian Holton with a strikeout for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down, and here's Ken Boswell, the second baseman. Boswell's 0 for 2, grounded to first and popped to the catcher. It's a 5-2 against a lefty for Holton is a fly ball to right field. So Brian Holton does his job. He pitches 2 solid innings. And at the end of 5, the score is the Mets 5, the Dodgers 1. And leading off for the Dodgers here in the top of the 6th will be Mike Marshall. And warming up in the bullpen for the Dodgers is going to be, let's see who they're going to have here. Looks like it's going to be Jay Howell. So Jay Howell is warming up in the bullpen. Jay Howell is warming up in the bullpen. He will come in to relieve Holton starting the 6th. All right, Mike Marshall starting off here against Koosman. And Koosman's point of weakness, he can go up to the 9th inning, so they're not worried about that at all. It's a 4-11 against a right-hander. 4-11 is a fly ball left field X, and that's going to be Cleon Jones, who happens to be a 2. So we'll roll the D20 and check on Cleon. It's a 5, so I think he'll make the play. Left field, number 2, and a number 5 is a fly ball B. So Cleon makes the play, 1 away, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Tracy Woodson. It's a 1-11 against a lefty for Woodson. 1-11 is a split chance. 1-8 is a single. So if he can roll a 1 through an 8, it will be a single. Otherwise, it's a line out to Bud Harrelson at short. It's an 8, so he got his single. So Tracy Woodson with a 1-out single. And that'll bring up John Shelby, the switch hitter. And John Shelby is 1 for 2. Here is the pitch. It's a 4-6. So Kuzman against a right-handed batter, 4-6 is a ground ball, shortstop A. Yet another double play, 6-4-3. And whatever potential rally the Dodgers thought they had going is erased. All right, we go to the bottom of the 6th. Score still, Mets 5, Dodgers 1. And we'll be back to meet the new pitcher, Jay Howell. Okay, close the book on Holton. He pitched 2 innings, didn't allow anything. He did pick up a strikeout. And the new pitcher is Jay Howell. So Jay Howell will be facing Ed Kranepool, Jerry Grody, and Bud Harrelson, the bottom of the Mets order. As we start the bottom of the 6th. It's a 2-9, so Kranepool against a righty. 2-9 is a ground ball to first. So it's a grounder to Woodson, first base unassisted, and that's the 3rd time Kranepool has done that. He has grounded to the first baseman 3 straight times. Very interesting how that happened. Here's Jerry Grody. It's a 3-7 against a righty, and a 3-7 is a ground ball to short. Look at that. He had all those hits, and he found that ground ball to short right there in the middle. So it's a ground ball to Alfredo Griffin for out number 2, and that brings up Bud Harrelson. It's a 6-3 against Jay Howell. Harrelson's a lefty, so a switch hitter, so he's batting left. It's a ground ball back to the pitcher. Ground ball back to the pitcher, and he is a E23, and I think it's determined that he is a number 2 reliever. On some of these older sets that don't have the ratings, their pitchers are defined to be a 2 on the rating. So we're going to roll it that way. It's a 10, so we're in the error rating, so it wouldn't matter about his range rating anyway. He's an E23, so we're checking the E23 to see if Howell makes an error. It's a 3. It's a 3. A 3 on an E23 and hits an E1. So Howell did make the error. A 1-base error on Howell. And Harrelson will reach with on a 2-out error by the pitcher, Jay Howell. Second error of the game on the Dodgers. Back to the top of the order in Tommy Agee. It's a 4-4 against Howell. That's a ground ball, second base C. So Sachs will make the play, throw on to first, and the inning is over. Error does not come back to haunt him. They're already down 5-1. So we go to the we go to the top of the 7th. Mets still comfortably in control, 5-1. And the bottom portion of the order for the Dodgers coming up, Hamilton, Dempsey, and Griffin. So here is Hamilton. It's a 5-6 against Kuzman. 5-6 is a split chance. He's going to get a base hit. If he rolls a 1, he'll get a triple. Otherwise, it'll simply be a single. So Hamilton, 13, he got his single. So a lot of singles in this game for the Dodgers. And that'll bring up Rick Dempsey, but they've also had double plays that have been ruining rallies. So here's Dempsey. It's a 2-2 against a lefty. 2-2 against a lefty is a fly ball to left field B. Would have been a chance for a home run had we been using the ballparks. I almost read it as a 1-2, which would have been a double play, but it's a fly ball to left. So at least Dempsey can say he didn't ground into a double play. So there's one away for Alfredo Griffin, who's 0 for 2. He's popped up to second baseman Boswell twice. It's a 2-9 against a lefty. 2-9, he pops up to the shortstop this time. Look at all those pop-ups. He must have popped up a lot. Look at all those pop-ups in that column. So it's a pop-up to the shortstop Harrelson for out number 2. And back to the top of the order, and Steve Sachs. Sachs is 3 for 3. It's a 2-2 against a lefty, and he pops out. Pop out, I'm sorry, 2-2. I'm reading the wrong column again. 2-2 is a single star. Oddly enough, though, on this card, it doesn't say what the range is. It just says single star or line out to short, but there's no number. So that's kind of strange. I don't think I've ever run across that before. Not sure how to handle that. So I think what I'm going to do is do a reboot and re-roll and ignore that result because I don't know what the range is on that, and I don't want to guess at it. So we're going to try again. It's a 6-7 this time. 6-7 is a ground ball second base X. So it's a ground ball to Boswell at second, who is a 3 rated second baseman. It's a 7, so I think that's on his error check. Second base. Second base a 7. No, actually it's not. It's a ground ball C. Ground ball C, because a 3-7 is a ground ball C. So he just did make it without having to go to the error check. He makes the play, and the inning is over. 7th inning stretch time here at neutral field. Score is still the Mets 5 and the Dodgers 1. And another new pitcher in the ball game for the Dodgers. They may as well go through their bullpen. No sense holding anybody back. And it's going to be, if we can find him here, it is going to be left-hander Jesse Orosco. Yes, he was still around pitching then. Jesse Orosco. With the left-handed batters coming up, they're going to bring in Jesse Orosco. And he will be pitching here in the bottom of the 7th. Close the book on Jay Howell. He pitched 1 inning and did not give up anything. He did give up a base runner on an error, but that didn't really hurt him at all. So Wayne Garrett is stepping to the plate, third baseman, and he'll be facing Jesse Orosco, lefty on lefty matchup. It's a 1-7, so Wayne Garrett against the lefty. 1-7, he draws a walk. So Jesse Orosco walks Wayne Garrett to start the 8th, and that's not start the 7th, so that's not a good way to start. Tommy Lasorda is not happy. Here's Cleon Jones, left fielder. It's a 5-6. So 5-6 against the right-hander is a strikeout. So Jesse Orosco comes back to strike out the right-hander. He walks the left-hander, strikes out the right-hander. And now we've got another left-hander to face, and that's Art Shamsky. But actually, Shamsky is being called back. He will be pinch hit for by Ron Swoboda. And Swoboda's a better defender, so he will stay in the game to play right field as well. So Ron Swoboda is going to pinch hit here in the 7th and then take over in right field. He's a 3-rated right fielder, a 4 error rating, 0 on the arm, and a 12 on his running rating. So Swoboda, a right-handed batter against the left-handed throwing Orosco. Swoboda, it's a 4-9. So Orosco 4-9 against a righty is probably a fly out to left, but there is one chance for a double if he rolls a number 1. It's a 20, so it's a fly out to the left fielder Hatcher for out number 2. And as it says, Swoboda will stay in the game to play right field going forward. So 2 outs, and here is Don Clendenin. Clendenin, it's a 6-7 against Orosco. And it's a ground ball to short, so we're going to check Alfredo Griffin. Check his range out. He's a number 1 rated shortstop. And he rolled a 4, so I believe he makes the play with that. Shortstop, number 1, a 4 is a ground ball A. So technically it's a 6-4 fielder's choice as he goes the short way to second for the out. So Jesse Orosco pitches a clean 1 inning. He walked 1, struck out 1, and did not give up any hits. And they're going to have Alejandro Pena come in and pitch the bottom of the 8th. So that's going to do it for Orosco, and we'll deal with Pena in the bottom of the 8th. Right now we're in the top of the 8th, and Jerry Kuzman. And Jerry Kuzman will be facing Mickey Hatcher, Kirk Gibson, and Mike Marshall, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Dodgers. Hatcher is 1 for 3 on the day. Here he is against Kuzman. It's a 4-6. 4-6 Kuzman against a righty. 4-6 is a ground ball to short. So another 6-3 ground out. Lots of ground outs being tossed by Kuzman in this game. And that'll bring up Kirk Gibson, the designated hitter. And he is 0 for 2 with a walk. That's a 1-1-1, all ones. 1-2. 1-2 against a lefty is a line out to second with max injury, but we're not using injuries, so it's just a line out to the second baseman Boswell for out number 2. And it wouldn't matter if he got hurt or not because he's a DH and he's probably not going to get another at bat. So even if you do count him as hurt, it really doesn't matter. Here's Mike Marshall. Marshall. It's a 5-7 against a right-handed batter. Is a strikeout for Kuzman. There is a dot there, but remember, he does not reach his point of weakness until the 9th inning starts. So that's a legitimate strikeout, and that will end the 8th. So Kuzman cruising through 8 innings. We go to the bottom of the 8th with the score still Mets 5 and Dodgers 1. And new pitcher is Alejandro Pena. He will be on to pitch here against Ken Boswell to start the 8th. It's a 3-6, all threes, 3-6. 3-6 for Boswell is a potential double. 1-7 for a double, 8-20 is a single. So Boswell looking for a 1-7 to get a double here. You got an 8, that's a single. So Ken Boswell leads off with a single. And that'll bring up Ed Kranepool. So Kranepool, the batter, he is grounded to first base 3 times, all 3 times. It's a 3-9 against a righty. 3-9, he's not going to ground to first this time. This time it's a big hit. 1-6 for a double, 7-20 for a single. It's a star, so Boswell's going to third either way you go. It's a 13, it's a single, but it is a star single. So Kranepool knocks Boswell over to third base. Runners are at the corners with nobody out for Jerry Grody. And the infield will have to play in, try to cut that run off. 4-7 is a strikeout. So that's a big strikeout for Alejandro Pena. And now the infield can go back to double play depth and see if they can turn 2 against Bud Harrelson. It's a 3-7 against a righty. Nope, that's a base hit to left field for Harrelson, so the run scores. And we've got a 6-1 game now as Boswell trots home. Kranepool will stop at second. It is now a 6-1 game, and we're back to the top of the order and Tommy Agee. 1-5 for Agee, and that's a walk. 1-5 is a walk, and that's going to load the bases. So Agee with a walk, and that will load everything up with 1 out for Wayne Garrett. Wayne Garrett, the third baseman, steps up. Pena facing Garrett. It's a 1-5, and a 1-5 is a split chance, 1-5 for a double, 6-20 for a single. So the Mets have just blown this thing wide open. Either a single or a double will blow this thing open. It's a 14, it's a single, but it's a star single. So it's a 2-run single that will score Kranepool and Harrelson and move Agee to third. So 2 more runs come in. 3 runs this inning. It is now 8-1 in favor of the Mets. And here's Cleon Jones as they try to pile on more. 5-10. 5-10 is a catcher X. Catcher X. Dempsey's a 3 rated catcher. It's a 19. So we'll check his catcher rating here. A 3 and a 19 is a pass ball and a foul out. So a pass ball, second one on the game on Dempsey. He has had his second pass ball of the game, and that pass ball will score Tommy Agee. Pass ball, and we'll move Garrett to second base, and then the pop out or foul out on Jones for out number 2. But another run is scored. It could be unearned depending on what happens with Ron Swoboda. It's a 2-9. So Ron Swoboda, 2-9 against a righty is a strikeout. So that will be an unearned run thanks to the pass ball. Strikeout there. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 runs come in for the Mets. And it's gotten into a laugher now. We go. Okay, just for the heck of it, Nolan Ryan's going to come in and pitch the bottom of the 9th. Or top of the 9th, I should say. close the book on Koosman, 8 innings pitched. He pitched a marvelous game. He only gave up the leadoff home run to Steve Sachs, and that seemed to perturb him as he shut out the Dodgers the rest of the way. And now Nolan Ryan, just to clean things up a little bit. He'll be facing Woodson, Shelby, and Hamilton, but actually Woodson will be called back, and Franklin Stubbs, the left-handed hitting first baseman, will be pinch hitting here in the 9th. So Franklin Stubbs, we can get his card out here somewhere or another. It's in the mix of all these other cards and the mixed up bullpen that I had out. So let me find Franklin Stubbs real quick. It's in here somewhere. No, he is. There he is, Franklin Stubbs. So Franklin Stubbs will be pinch hitting here against Nolan Ryan. And here's the pitch. It's a 5-7. So Ryan against a left-handed batter, 5-7 is a walk. So he does walk Franklin Stubbs to start off the top of the 9th. That'll bring up John Shelby. And that's a 6-7 against a left-handed batter. And that's another walk. So back-to-back walks by Nolan Ryan. Not a great way to start when you've got a 9-1 lead. And that'll bring up third baseman Jeff Hamilton. It's a 3-7. So Hamilton against a right-handed throwing Nolan Ryan on a 3-7 is a potential split chance. Double 1-13, single 14 through 20. So a 1-13 is a double. And it's a 4, so it is a double. So it's a double for Jeff Hamilton. It's a double star, so Shelby will have to stop at third base. But a run does score. And it's down now to a 9-2 ball game. And Rick Dempsey's a scheduled batter, but he will not bat. Mike Scioscia will pinch hit for him in the top of the 9th here. So Mike Scioscia is on as a pinch hitter. Mike Scioscia against Nolan Ryan. It's a 1-7. So Scioscia against a righty, 1-7 is another split chance. Double is 1-8. And 9-20 is a single. So 1-8 for a double. It's a 1, so he got his double. So back-to-back doubles, and that will score the 2 runners to make it a 9-4 ball game. So all of a sudden it's a little more interesting. Okay guys, with that double by Scioscia, the pinch hit double, 2 more runs have come in, and the score is now about 9-4, and there's still nobody out in the top of the 9th. So Ryan certainly struggling, and with that fact of struggling, the Mets now have double barrel action in the bullpen. Ron Taylor, the righty, and Tug McGraw, the lefty, as Gil Hodges does not want this to get away from them. Scheduled hitter now for the Dodgers is the number 9 hitter, Alfredo Griffin. However, Alfredo Griffin hit 199 on the season, so he is being called back, and we'll have a pinch hitter. That is going to be left-handed hitting Danny Heap. So Danny Heap will pinch hit here in the 9th against Nolan Ryan with Dempsey at second base and nobody out. And Danny Heap steps up against Nolan Ryan, and it's a short leash on Ryan because they can't afford to let this one get away from him. Here is the pitch to Heap. It's a 3-7 to Heap. And a 3-7 is a fly ball to center field, 1 away. That was a center field B, but there was no runner on third, so it's simply a fly to center. 4 out number 1, and that brings up the top of the order and Steve Sachs. So Ryan's trying to finish this without any extra help. It's a 6-10. 6-10 is a catcher X. Catcher X. So the catcher in this case, Jerry Grody, is a number 2 rated catcher. So he's a 2 rated catcher. We'll roll the D20. And we get an 18. 18 on a 2 rated catcher says it is a foul out. So he missed the pass balls and went straight to the foul out. So Grody, being a number 2 catcher, did not have a pass ball happen in front of him. It is simply a foul out for out number 2. And the Dodgers are down to their last chance, and that is left fielder Mickey Hatcher. So Mickey Hatcher steps to the plate against Nolan Ryan. It's a 3-8. And a 3-8 is a line out to the first baseman, Ed Kranepool, and the ball game is over. So the Mets, it wasn't pretty in the ninth, but they hung on. They gave up 3 runs. So the final score is the Mets 9 and the Dodgers 4. And we'll be right back with the totals. Okay, we're back to wrap this thing up. The totals on the game for the Mets, 9 runs on 10 hits, no errors, they left 6. The Dodgers, 4 runs, 10 hits, 2 errors, they left 7. Winning pitcher is Jerry Koosman. He went 8 innings, allowing just the 1 run. Losing pitcher was Tim Belcher. He got knocked around in 3 innings, giving up 5 runs. Player of the game, if I had to give to anybody, it would be Don Clendenin. I know Koosman pitched very well against a weak-hitting Dodger team, but Clendenin set the tone early with his 3-run home run, 2-out 3-run homer, and that kind of put the Mets up 3-1. They were down 1-0 at that point, and so Clendenin had that clutch 3-run homer that really kind of set the tone the rest of the way. I know Shamsky hit a 2-run homer in the third to really put it on ice, and it actually, the way it turned out, they needed those 4 runs in the 8th to keep it from being really close. But that's the way it goes. We can now pencil in, or write in pen, the Dodgers advancing. So, as we look to the Elite 8, this is the way the Elite 8 stands up in the card and dice bracket. Out of the Ruth bracket, we have the Philadelphia Phillies of 1993 taking on the 83 Baltimore Orioles. That'll be an Elite 8 game. The other Elite game will be a rematch of the 1969 World Series, as the 69 Orioles will be facing the 69 Mets. And the final piece bracket in this cards and dice version will be the 2 Yankee teams, the 1977 Yankees and the 1941 Yankees. So 1 Yankee team will advance to the Final Four for all you Yankee fans. And for you Yankee haters, 1 Yankee team will not advance to the Final Four. So that, it's 50-50 split there. One's going to make it, one's not. So that's the card and dice bracket version of the Elite 8. And next up, I'll be presenting the PC bracket of the Sweet 16, and that's the 2002 Oakland A's taking on the 2013 Boston Red Sox. And in the second game, it'll be the 1986 Mets taking on the 1979 Baltimore Orioles. So the Orioles will try to make it 3-0, as the other 2 Baltimore teams have already advanced. So they'll be trying to join their Oriole brethren in the Elite 8. So that's going to do it from here. And next video will be the PC bracket. And that will finish out the Sweet 16. And we'll be ready to head on to the Elite 8, which we need to do because time is going by us here in the month of May. We're already through the 20th. So if I want to get everything done by the 30th, which is Memorial Day, I want to play that final game on the 30th. I'm going to have to really see about pumping up this a little bit every day, get a game out every day just to make it fit. But if I can't, it's no big deal. I'm not going to sweat over it. If it has to go into June, it goes into June. But anyway, that's it from here. Hope everybody enjoyed the Sweet 16 so far. I know this Met game with the Dodgers was not as close as some of the other games, but that's going to happen sometimes. You play enough games, you're going to get some blowouts. And that's what happened also with the 41 Yankees and 73 A's. You didn't get a close game like we'd really want. But like I said, it happens. So hope everybody's having a wonderful day doing whatever you're doing and playing whatever game you're playing. And I'll check in with everybody for the PC bracket of the Sweet 16, and then we head on to the Elite 8.